Rogue Company from First Watch Games and Hi-Rez Studios is a mostly brand new multiplayer shooter on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC and Nintendo Switch that shares similarities with, well, lots of other games actually, but is emulation always a bad thing? Well, that's what we aim to find out today. I'm Mick from God is a Geek and I'm here to be your guide through the colourful, volatile battlefield that is Rogue Company. Here comes the review. It's often forgotten that things we call cliché are only cliché because they work so well. You don't use something over and over again if it's no good, do you? In fact, the only reason anything is classed as overused now is because no one could get enough of it then. My slightly laboured point is that Rogue Company borrows an awful lot from other IPs. Like a 90s slasher movie, it cherry picks the elements it wants from the genre leaders and even some of the also-rans, spits out the pits and mashes it all together in a big old third-person run-and-gun smoothie. Some games would suffer because of this, but Rogue Company does it all with such a brazen swagger that you can't help but smile along with it, throw up a thumb or two and maybe ruffle its hair with a cheeky wink. What I'm saying is that Rogue Company gets away with it. In fact, not only does it get away with it, but you actually want it to do more of it. For example, there's a ping system, like in Apex Legends. There's a weapon and upgrade shop aboard the plane that drops you into the map, like in CSGO. There's even a glider on which you get into the action, like in, well, look, we're not going to get through this without saying Fortnite at some point, so let's just get it out of the way, like in Fortnite. And if it all sounds a bit been there, done that, that's because it is. But it all works really well together, which is partly because matches are incredibly fast-paced, the compact maps funneling everyone into a central killing ground so that rounds typically last only a few minutes. The primary game mode is Demolition, which sees one team defend a bomb and the other team attempt to arm it. Nothing fresh, but Rogue Company keeps it exciting by maintaining that swift pace and coming out of the gate with a decent lineup of 13 rogues. Well, if you buy the Ultimate Founders bundle it does anyway. The rogues themselves are a pretty cool bunch. Each one comes with a unique look, unique weapons, gadgets and abilities, and they're all split into rough classes. A cash shop will eventually allow the purchase of outfits, wingsuit and gun skins, emotes, etc., and a battle pass system is also promised. Initial impressions, though, are that there are just a few too many rogues with an ability that reveals enemy positions, which is a bit frustrating when there are also some really cool skills available. V, for example, can throw barrels of acid that make an area all but impassable to the opposition. Anvil can drop a defensive barrier, Clich can disrupt the other team's special abilities, and poster girl Ronin has an explosive kunai that does devastating damage. Other rogues like Lancer, Chark and Scorch have abilities that grant temporary buffs that can turn the tide. While there are obvious synergies to be found, all the rogues seem built to handle themselves in a scrape, making all of them viable options whether you're squadding up or playing with a pickup group. Working together, you can force the opposition to come at you in a certain way or even walk directly into your traps, but don't expect an easy run given that there are no bots in Rogue Company and you're always going to be facing off against other players who are just as devious as you are. You'll begin each round aboard your plane ready to drop into the map and fight for whatever vague reasons each character's flavour text suggests, able to open a shop with a single button press from which you can spend cash earned in the previous round on a secondary weapon. From a choice of two, your primary weapon is always a handgun. You can also choose a melee weapon, lethal and non-lethal grenades, and various buffs such as immunity from position reveals or increased movement speed after taking damage. Movement feels incredibly responsive and there's a satisfying level of feedback for both dealing and receiving damage. You can dodge roll out of harm's way, which can be the difference between taking that last bullet or living on for a few breaths more, and you can get in and revive down teammates if you're quick enough. Sticking together, using the ping and minimising personal risk are all sound strategies, but learning the strengths and weaknesses of each rogue is equally as important. Because the group is so diverse, you'll latch onto a few favourites right away. I personally really like playing as V and Dima. The former's barrels of toxic gunk are great for keeping enemies at bay, while the latter has a grenade launcher on cooldown, which is awesome for obvious reasons. But if you prefer to snipe, you might choose to slide into Phantom's slinky catsuit, while healers will favour Saint and his revival drone. Each of the 7 maps is split into small areas littered with cover, doorways or walls to mantle for sniper positions. Zip lines allow quick but exposed traversal across the map, and while you can shoot in transit, you're also a stark target against the skyline for enemies to pick off. There's a nice range of locales too, even though none offer anything we haven't experienced before. From a cargo ship on fire to a high-class mansion or a shipping yard, we've certainly seen these maps in other games, but they're functional if not flamboyant. What Rogue Company lacks in innovation, it makes up for in pure confidence, and so it should. It runs silky smooth, the servers are stable, and it's a damn nice game to look at, particularly on PC. There's a genuinely solid foundation here with potential to add much more to it. The characters are diverse enough without being deliberately over the top or coming across as tryhard, see Bleeding Edge or Crucible as an example of that, and the fast-paced, highly competent gunplay and laser-focused game modes make it an easy one to get addicted to, and the addition of crossplay means there's rarely a wait to get into a match. As more modes, rogues, weapons and maps are added, the game will open up. Still technically in paid beta, Rogue Company does enough to get your attention and then remains likeable enough to keep it. Yes, the genre may be heaving at the seams, but it's rare anything new hits the market with a firm enough grip to hang around for long. I hope Rogue Company endures, because right now it's one of the most effortlessly fun shooters I've played in a while, and for that reason I'm scoring it 8.5 out of 10.
Lethal out.
I hope you enjoyed our review of Rogue Company from First Watch Games and Hi-Rez Studios. Is it one you're interested in? Have you been playing it? If so, how do you feel about it? It's available on PC, which is where we're reviewing it on here, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch, which we're also checking out to do a Switch report. If you do pick it up, let us know what you think, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting like and subscribe, and of course tag that bell icon so you never miss another video, review, preview or podcast from us guys. We also have a Patreon if you feel like supporting us that way. We really do appreciate it. I've been Mick Fraser for God is a Geek, and you guys have been lovely. Take care.